Mike the Hobbit here.
Lowdown Brown.
Inviting you to check out Geeks Under the Influence, a podcast that pairs booze with conversation with good friends.
And a little nerd culture.
We get a lot of colorful conversation out of our episodes, but it is here for everyone. No gatekeeping.
Always level up everything we do.
We'll punch up, never punch down.
Exactly.
So check out Geeks Under the Influence anywhere you get your podcasts and join us or die.
Shut the fuck up, Hobbit. Welcome to GUI Nights.
GUI Nights.
Yeah, I am Lowdown Brown. With me as always,
Mike the Hobbit.
this is the tangential side of GUI.
This is like so many of those other shows that has the after the show bit mixed with a little bit of Baywatch Nights, so it's a little sexier. It's a little bit after hours.
Also while tying it into the previous episode of GUI. So look forward to that too, because this comes out the week after the flagship hour-long episode.
So make sure to check out GUI Nights, and when you're done, you can
Go the fuck home.
The views and opinions expressed on Beautiful Disasters are those of the panelists and not those of the Geeks Under the Influence Network, their sponsors, or anyone else involved. Also, there is going to be a lot of adult language used on this podcast, so please keep your little kitties away unless you don't care about them that much.
Welcome back to Beautiful Disasters, Schlock Abuse Edition.
Yeah.
He celebrates. Shocking. I guess I didn't go too rough on you for your first one, though, did I?
No. This is a little different than what Hunter has given me.
Yeah.
But, yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, I want to start off with some curveballs. You know, something just to kind of test that water. I admittedly was a little meaner to Hunter, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
So, Schlock Abuse Editions are ones where we challenge each other with a particular film. You know, it's could be something really rough, could be something a lot of fun. More oftentimes than not, they are some sort of questionably enjoyable film.
Yes, indeed.
But, you know, and here on Beautiful Disasters, we already celebrate the cult, the B, the weird, the unwanted stepchildren of cinema.
That's true.
We want them all, even occasionally when they hurt us. But like I said, I don't think this one was too bad. As I am Murphy, and I assigned Grutz what for your first Schlock abuse from me?
A movie I had never heard of. Which is challenging sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there are those, obviously. Adventures in Dinosaur City.
Yep.
From 1991.
Yep. You knew I had to give you something dinosaur
Oh,
related.
man. So, this was a lot of fun in a weird, very schlocky way. This movie, it was a TV movie.
Mm-hmm.
I did not research what network it was on, but it was definitely made for TV, and it was only ever released up through VHS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Never got a modern format.
I know. I'm really heartbroken about it, actually.
Yeah, there's no Laserdisc. There is no. There's no DVD. Nothing.
Yeah.
So, ended up watching this on YouTube. It was a pretty low res copy, but I definitely got the gist of what this was.
Right.
And my first instinct watching the first, 15 minutes of it was that this was like, it felt like one of those like really shitty like later sequels of like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. You know?
Okay, I can, you know what, I can see that as being
something that like maybe had at one point started off as like a big budget concept, and then it was like this was like several versions later.
Oh, I mean, it wasn't like it was necessarily low budget. It was just 90s cheese to the max, right?
Well, I mean, considering what they did in this movie, they spent some money on this. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Yeah.
This movie cost money because there was all kinds of rubber suits and lots of sets, models, explosions. It was bananas. So, let me get into this movie, Adventures in Dinosaur City.
Yeah.
So, a little bit of background, because I had the opportunity to research a little bit. Mm-hmm. Basically, nobody in this movie was recognizable.
There's one.
There is basically one. There's the guy who played Mr. Big. The Mr. Big character, I guess, was behind the rubber suit of Mr. Big.
Oh, I was thinking of a different person. Okay.
Was somebody by the name of R.A. Mihailov, who played Leatherface in Texas Chainsaw 3.
Oh, nice.
The only other person that I knew that I recognized the name of was, I guess, the voice or something of Rex or Old Rex. I think Daddy Rex. And that was Tony Doyle, who's like a British character actor. He was in like Circle of Friends and shit. And then the director basically did nothing.
Yeah, this was like
he
his
did this
thing.
movie. He did some indie drama called Not Since Casanova, and he did an Ed Wood documentary.
Yep.
That was it. That was the guy.
Yep.
So like this movie is nobody knows.
There is one other star in it.
Is there?
Star. Omri Katz, the kid that it plays like the younger of the three, was Max Dennison in Hocus Pocus.
Oh, I never saw that.
You never saw Hocus Pocus?
Nah.
With the Sanderson sisters? Really?
No.
The like Disney kids movie about the witches?
No, I got too old for Disney.
But
yeah, like after like.
But Kathy Najimy. Put Bette Midler.
After the Rocketeer.
Put Sarah Jessica Parker being hot.
That's not ever happened.
No, it happened.
Did it?
It happened.
Oh my! After the Rocketeer, I was done with Disney because that should have been an awesome big blockbuster movie, and it failed. And
this is a phrase that I've never heard anyone
there should have been
to me before.
There should have been 5 more Rocketeer movies.
Okay, this is clearly something that I have uncovered that we have to put a pin in for another time.
No, that's fair.
Holy crap, I lifted a rock that I didn't know was a rock.
Yeah,
and
no.
ghosts came out.
Yeah, no, you will find that I am not knowledgeable or familiar with most children's movies after like the mid-90s.
It's a good fun, like, creepy kid, like, aimed at kid movie. Like,
This one?
The Hocus Pocus.
Oh, Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, but this one is one from my childhood, which I know doesn't shock you. So
no,
I
it's
watched
definitely
this a lot.
it's definitely something that like I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I 100% watching this movie. I get like being a kid and seeing this on TV.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna love this movie.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna feel like it was a fever dream. That and like what was it called? Like I swear this movie existed. Mm-hmm. There are movies like that from my youth too.
Yeah.
But so this movie opens with sort of like a musical number situation that sounds like Danny Elfman, but it's not. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm already like, okay, they're going there, like they're going for like a sort of fantasy, like adventure-y thing. We open with like 3 shitty suburban kids being lame as fuck.
Hey, dinosaur clubs aren't lame.
I guess, but like it's like a little boy who's like what 10 or some shit.
I do not know what ages they were supposed to be. I'm gonna be real.
I thought the girl was his older sister, and then there was like a potential boyfriend for her. Like, so there were 2 like 13-ish year old kids, right? And they're fucking like, you know, having their dinosaur club. Meanwhile, which I can only assume is the parents of like the little boy, they're in their garage with like a crazy like mad scientist setup going on.
Yep.
Where they have, you know, it's so much like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've got like they got a big giant like laser machine cannon set up in front of like an orange, and they zap an orange into a TV, and then it returns, and they're like, "Oh my god, we did it!" But we have to prove it with a human trial. But oh shit, We've got to go to this conference. What time is it? Because they're, disorganized scientists and they don't know. So they have to fucking run out and be like, kids, stay out of the lab or the garage, whatever the fuck, and like be good. We'll be back in a few hours. But that shit's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. So then we have the kids, the mischievous kids, heading into the garage, and the parents or the scientist parents have set up the machine to be like ready to go when they get back because time is of the essence. Mm-hmm. And yet the kids go in and they trigger the machine.
But do you remember what they were doing, like why they went in there?
Well, they wanted to play a movie on the big screen,
yeah,
right?
They had their like a dinosaur movie.
So they had a Dinosaur VHS to play on the big screen, which was a old school projection TV, like those big box giant projection TVs from the late 80s. Mm-hmm. In the room, probably like a 60-inch screen. Yeah,
it was a big honking TV. Like I get why they wanted to watch.
That was expensive back then.
Their
big time.
Their dinosaur team cartoon on this.
So yes, it was a dino cartoon. And they knew all the characters. Mm-hmm. And they start playing it. They activate the machine. Shit goes down. And they get fucking sucked in there. Mm-hmm. Now, they get sucked in. And it's no longer a cartoon.
Yep.
It's fucking real.
Super real. Rubber suit real.
So, what do we got here? We did have a sequence with the animated cartoon with a Mr. Big song.
Yeah, that was when they...
That was still in the room. It felt like a Flintstones ripoff in some way. Mm-hmm. The only thing I could think was like these kids are too old to be watching cartoons.
I watched cartoons forever.
Of that of that level.
Cartoons forever.
But whatever. So, science fair.
The love for dinosaurs knows no age. Okay.
So, when these kids fuck with the machine and they get transported to the dino dimension, mm-hmm. they're suddenly in a new world. And it's kind of like, what can I say? It feels like a giant set that would be in like a very immersive amusement park attraction. Mm-hmm. Okay, big sets, lots of foliage. Like if somebody were to make like a Jurassic Park experience.
I think you really put your finger on it before when you said Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, because there is an immersive Honey, I Shrunk the Kids like place at Disney World where they have like giant ants and like all these like slides and things and all of that. Yeah. So I think that like you really put your finger on that feeling there. So yeah, there's
yeah. Okay. That makes a lot of sense then.
Mm-hmm. So they probably were writing off of some of that, but also that's just sort of the feeling of like this style of film from that era, that like the sets were big and rubbery and built and kind of like
yes,
like they gave them texture to let you know how real they were, but the texture itself let you know that they had built a model, But they still look pretty good. Yeah. No, I'm not knocking like
this was definitely like at least Star Trek The Next Generation level like set building. Mm-hmm. Like it looked pretty good. It looked good for what I could see. And these kids, they're exploring this new this new landscape or whatever. And they end up finding this little like mouthy fucking dino muppet. Okay? And they're like, they obviously recognize him as like the real life version of the cartoon, one of the cartoon characters. Mm-hmm. And they start getting together with him. And basically the gist is that there are some bad elements that are jeopardizing Soar City.
Yeah.
Soar City. Dinosaur City. Mm-hmm. And this little fucking like mouthy Muppet motherfucker.
And Tartown, right? That was the other one, right?
Yeah. Okay. Little mouthy motherfucker was like, well, I mean, something needs to be done, but like, who's gonna do it? And they're like, we will. we're the champions. Like, we're here to fight. And they grab his ass against his will, by the way. They got to go save Source City. And he's like, well, I mean, like, there's no good way to get there. I mean, they're pointing at this map, and it's like, well, what about, like, the straight route? And he's like, you can't go there. That goes through Extinction Grove. You know, and you can't.
Doesn't something happen that causes them to have to, like, go on this journey, though?
Well, they,
like, weren't there... Didn't, like, a bunch of, like, the cave people come in and steal some shit?
Well, they started on the journey, but they were gonna go on the journey. They ended up at a weird ass, like, casino, a dino casino. Okay, so there's gambling there. There's a bar. There's okay. By the way, humans in this world are second-class citizens for the most part. Like, there's like cavemen that are basically like the muscle for the bad guys. But also, at this weird-ass, like, fucking casino bar situation, human females are the showgirls.
Females are the showgirls in this world, for the most part.
Well, I mean, obviously, we don't have dino females in this fucking world for sure.
Right, just crush my dreams.
Yeah. Sorry. I didn't watch that movie. But, yeah. So they're the ones up there, and we've got dinos, like, playing poker.
Being drunk.
There's weird-ass little, like, Muppet dinosaurs as bartenders.
I just thought that, like, to start, like, everything, like, the cavemen came in and stole, like, some battery thing and made off with it, and it was going to cause, like, a volcano to explode or something.
Yes, I think so. Wait.
So we've got a human burlesque show and a dinosaur casino.
Oh, yeah, I did get ahead of myself. Sorry. I'm right. So, yeah, the mammals, it's explained that the mammals, humans, are kind of like second-class citizens. These dumb kids that are in this strange world purposefully open the gate to, like, this, what looks like a labyrinth, like a shady labyrinth, and they go in. They pass by this giant, like, Dino Death Reaper skull, like, statue. They end up, like, having to run from this giant fucking snake. Tries to eat the girl. That's when they hit the Dino Casino.
Okay, so that was them going
they
through
went through, like,
Grove.
It was like the first, that was like the first level.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Of the game. They get to the Dino Casino that have hookers, and the humans are freaks and the showgirls. And both of the boys, the young boy and the teenage boy, both get fondled during a music dance number by the showgirls. Like, it's
wildly inappropriate and ridiculous.
It's amazing. Like, I would have loved to have seen this on TV as a child. Like, what is happening? And then a giant ass fucking bar fight breaks out. Because there's, like, these we get introduced to, like, these wisecracking freaking cavemen folk that we learn later are, like, the henchmen for, like, the villain, Mr. Big. And they come in, and they end up, like, pissing off Rex, who is our, like, dino hero. Okay, and then he's got his, like, Tricera dude, like, sidekick.
Yeah.
They're just trying to, like, play some poker. Or some shit. And they end up getting into a fight, and it's a big fucking, like, brawl with all the hijinks. Every, like, fight, action, hijink you can think of, like, people getting bonked on the head with, like, fucking, like, little birds flying around their head, shit like that. People getting launched out of place, like,
sliding across the bar.
Everything. Yeah. Honestly, kudos. They, like, all the effects people and stunt people got paid on this movie. I fucking love it for that reason only.
And in big rubber suits.
And big rubber suits, all the special makeup, all the, like, people. Yeah. I'll talk about that more later. I fucking love that shit. So the fight ends, and the cavemen assholes they're defeated, and they're the lackeys of Mr. Big. So the reluctant dino hero, Rex, decides to join the kids and the little tiny Muppet dinosaur that they have with them. Sorry. Yeah. And they're like, hey, we got to go do this thing, but we got to go through the fucking Extinction Grove. Like we gotta go through the hard shit. You know, it's like going to Mordor.
Yeah.
And but he's reluctant, but he goes. So on their journey, they have some secret passage, like journey bonding. Mm-hmm. The two older, like early teens, kind of connect. Mm-hmm. They have a kiss. Oh,
so nice.
So cute.
So
and
nice.
And then not long after that, there was a sequence where Mr. Big is like, he's corralling his caveman thug troops. Mm-hmm. And he's like, all right, we need to go get these guys. Like, they're trying to fuck up my plan.
Real quick, can you paint me a picture of what, I think is it Tops and Rex? Are those their names?
Yeah, Rex and
I can't remember.
Tops.
Tops
was the second.
Yeah, but like, what do they look like? So they're not on all fours. Like, do they have the regular like T-Rex arms like?
No, I should have mentioned they're about human height, maybe like 6 feet, on two legs, and I mean it's like Dinosaurs Dinosaurs the show.
Oh yeah, the anthropomorphized ones.
That's exactly what it is.
Like great big boxer arms instead of little.
Exactly. Yeah. The T-Rex Rex doesn't have little tiny shrimp arms. Like he has like full on arms.
Yeah.
And Tops is just as capable. You know, they're like they're full on like hero characters.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
I just wanted to get that like image of them.
Indeed. Yeah. They're the big rubber suit like humanoids. Humanoid dinos.
Okay, so now we've got Mr. Big's plan.
So we got Mr. Big's plan. He has organized his cavemen thugs to go ambush them on their journey through the fucking Extinction Grove, whatever. Like, it's the misty journey to whatever their goal is. And there's a big fight sequence. Waves and waves of these cavemen dudes come in, and they're fighting, fending them off. The kids are actually doing very well, considering these are like brutal, prehistoric dudes with giant clubs. Like they're actually like doing well, you know. And it's a lot of funny gag, sort of violence humor.
Yeah.
However, the youngest pulls out a remote control, freezes one of them, and figures out that his remote control is a goddamn magic wand in this dimension. He's able to freeze them, reverse them, and that's a power that gets back to Mr. Big, and he's like, I want that shit.
Legit, yeah. I'd want that shit too.
And he figures that out fast enough that he gets more of his dudes down there to kidnap the kid with the fucking remote control. So, kid gets nabbed with the remote control. Now, there has to be the two remaining children, Rex and Top. They got to mount a rescue mission. And they end up going to this, like, tower, which is like the hold-up hideout lair of Mr. Big.
Yeah.
Where he has all his people. He's got all the caveman, like, thugs. He's got sexy cave girls that dance for him.
Legit. I would too.
Yeah, he's got it going on.
My favorite of the sexy cave girls is our like ditzy version of Mae West as a cave woman.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a fan of her.
I swear to God, like Poison Ivy from the Cramps was dressed like her at one point.
That would have been amazing.
That's all I thought. So they decide, okay, they get to this location. They have to infiltrate. How are they going to do it? So the two like early teens dress up in caveman gear. And
Very convincing.
And they're going to be like, okay, well, we're humans, so we got to dress the part. We got to dress like cavemen. It's like, all right, so we got to make our way in. And I distinctly remember this 13-year-old girl who has already had, obviously, some serious action. And she's, like, fended off, like, some attackers at this point. But she decides that she is capable of using her sexuality to lure two cavemen thug dudes away from their post in order to gain access. And the idea was that she was going to lure them away, and then like Rex and Tops and and the other one and the other kid would fucking fuck him up. But she ended up getting like a handle of the club and like fuck these guys up herself. And I was like, oh shit. So, kudos. But giant fight sequence breaks out. Okay. They gain access, and they gotta, it's not quite the raid, but they gotta fight their way up a ways.
Yeah.
They got different bosses, including like I don't know if he was like a servant. He was like Knick-Knack from Man with the Golden Gun. It's like a little dude.
Here's Plates.
Little man.
From Skin Deep.
Plates from Skin Deep, exactly. Yeah. He was like the last boss to get through before they got to Mr. Big.
Oh, but didn't Rex encounter someone pretty important from his past in the tower?
Did. He got to the prison level, wherever that was, and his father was there. Rex Sr., who I think was voiced by Tony Doyle. So he's like, oh my god, I thought you were dead. And they had a little moment. It was nice. And
he finds out that Mr. Big poisoned his father's mind to make him give over the keys to Source City and a whole bunch of other shit.
Yep. It was a bad scene.
All these years, he's thought his father was a traitor, and his father's been in prison.
That's why he's been drinking and gambling so much. He's been rough.
Yeah. So
he has a little bit of like a realization moment, a little bit of catharsis, but the fight still has to go on. And we get up to like basically the final boss situation, where after he's reunited with his dad, he has to fucking destroy. We gotta destroy the tower. It's the only way to go.
Yeah.
There's a fuse. It needs to be pulled, and someone needs to stay behind to open up the fucking lava flow from below to blow the shit. Big fight between Rex and Mr. Big, and he's able to best Mr. Big, and they're able to escape, but somebody has to stay behind to fucking pull the fuse.
Yeah,
right?
one person to move the plank,
and it's got to be the little fucking Muppet.
Yeah, sorry.
Little
pterodactyl.
Yeah, I can't fly. He's gonna fly. Pulls the thing, and it's like jump, and he jumps and he flies.
Yeah.
Finally, it's almost like evolution just happened right down in there. And and then meanwhile, like the father of Rex Sr. is sacrificing himself by like knocking over a pillar to allow the floor to come up and like lava to come in, which explodes the entire tower into like green explosion flame, which is awesome. And wait a minute, remote death. The kid killed somebody with his remote control.
He killed Mr. Big.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That was the death of Mr. Big.
Yeah, he got the batteries back from his friend because he wouldn't tell Mr. Big why the remote wouldn't work.
That's right. That's how Mr. Big died. I almost forgot that shit.
Yeah.
Which, I should say, like, I fell asleep watching this movie the other night.
Oh.
And finished it earlier today. And I should have remembered that shit. So, the senior Rex sacrifices himself. Tower comes down, explodes. Emotional moment. And now everyone's like, oh, we have succeeded. We can now return Source City to, they take, I guess they needed the fucking...
They put the battery back in time to both stop things from blowing up and to allow the power to come back for them to...
Right, the fuse is back.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Source City's back. And then the Ditzy Cave Girl makes some kind of quip about, one giant leap for womankind, or...
Oh, because the other girl, beats up another of the cavemen.
Yes.
And she high-fives her and said, "One giant leap for womankind."
Yes.
I mean,
anyway.
You didn't mention their, sweet, thing where they do their, they pull their arms to one side and then the other, and then they, shake them up and down, they yell, "Thunder in!"
Oh, yeah, they definitely had their own,
It's not a handshake, but it's a handshake.
Yeah, it's kind of like their own little, thing.
Yeah.
So... there's a sad goodbye, but, they've saved the day. The kids end up going back into the real world.
Mm-hmm. Boo.
And then they come out, and the parents come back from their conference.
Yeah. Nobody
Nobody believed us. They thought we were talking about some bullshit. Like we were talking about...
Making orange juice.
Juice or some shit. And the kids are like, okay, well, don't be mad, but... let me show you something, and that's where the movie ends, where they end up taking them back to,
to back to Tartown. Oh yeah, one of the questions, we'll always have Tartown. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So, overall, this movie was super fun, and 11-year-old Anthony would have fucking loved this shit. Over the moon by it, and both my little brothers would have loved this shit. This would have been one of the movies that we would have watched over and over and over again, worn out the VHS.
Oh yeah, no, I've definitely
100%
definitely did that to a few films like this.
So it's it's definitely interesting. I don't normally watch kids movies now,
right? So which is part of why I made sure to give you one.
I don't hate it. It definitely could have been way worse.
Mm-hmm.
So, but...
Could have been Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain.
I have not seen that one.
You haven't... That has the Hulkster in it. Hulk Hogan.
What is that, the third one? Second one?
The fourth one.
Fourth?
Because there's Three Ninjas Kick Back, Three Ninjas Knuckle Up, and then Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain, and I wish I didn't remember all of those.
Wow! I have not seen the fourth one, no. I have not. But anyway, this one was super fun. And it's definitely schlock. I would love to see this. Somebody go into the vault of whatever TV station or TV studio that made this, dust off the old tapes, restore it a little bit, put it out.
I would love that.
I'd buy it.
I bet there's a bunch of stuff like this that's out there.
There definitely are.
From that, I would say mid-'80s to mid-'90s sweet spot that we got a bunch of this stuff.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for a really good transfer. There was a kids movie that Henry Thomas did after E.T. called Frog Dreaming that was done in Australia.
That sounds so cool.
And I have a copy of it. It was only ever done through VHS or maybe Laserdisc. I don't know how, and it's not even, it's full screen, so I don't even know if it was shot in widescreen. But that's another thing.
There's a bunch of stuff that I went down the rabbit hole through YouTube and was like, I'm gonna find all these motherfucking dinosaur movies I watched when I was a kid that I half remember, and I found some informational, I found 2 informational claymation ones that's a little bit more of the Harryhausen style of claymation, nice. and another one that's got all different styles of more realistic to kids Play-Doh coming together and separating, where it's Fred Savage narrating a book report about dinosaurs.
Fuck yeah.
So I found all sorts of stuff that I just...
Well, I know there's at least 2, if not 3 sequels to Hell Comes to Frogtown, so I've got...
Oh, we should look for those.
I've got 2 of them. I don't know.
I know what we're watching at some point.
I don't know if the third actually exists, but in any case,
we're gonna have to start doing start a segment on sequels and syndication. And
insane bullshit. In any case, I'm not
Seriously.
mad about this schlock abuse, but
Cool.
we should tie this off with a bow.
All right. Well, thank you for withstanding the torture of your first schlock abuse from the land of childhood and rubber masks.
I strangely enjoyed it, which is something I cannot say for all schlock abuse that I've had so far.
All right, well, I'll try not to be quite as nice next time, but until then, to find out when we will be back at it once more, you can find us on social media as Beautiful Disasters Podcast. You can find us at Geeks Under the Influence as well. You can find GUIPodcast.com, where you can find connections to all of the shows under the network, some merch, some Amazon links, give us a little kickback, get us some money.
Oh, yeah.
Find us on Instagram at beautiful_disasters_podcast. And send us an email. Email us schlock abuse suggestions, email us episode suggestions. Make sure that we've heard about whatever bananas new movie you're into.
That's right.
Don't assume that we have seen things unless we've got an episode on it. We want to know. We want to explore, and we need your help to do it. So
we love all that stuff.
So for Beautiful Disasters, I have been Murphy.
I've been the Grutz.
All right. Stay beautiful, motherfuckers.
Hey guys, Scotty P here with Smash on your left. And we are the Geek Fathers. That's right, bringing all the trials and tribulations of being a geeky parent.
So welcome to our world.
And as always, join us
Or cry.
My name is Amy Bogard,
And I'm Mike the Hobbit.
and we are the hosts of Deeply Upsetting, where we use our expertise to answer your most upsetting hypothetical quandaries, such as, what non-winged animal deserves wings?
And what body part deserves a secret mouth?
Which cryptid is the worst roommate?
These questions and more that plague you will be answered on Deeply Upsetting, available anywhere you get your podcasts and at GUIPodcast.com.